I posted a video earlier today exposing my neighbor who has been constantly harassing me and my family. And after I posted, I felt like a sorrowful feeling where some people probably feel like, oh, I shouldn't have put her on here. And we should be praying for these people. First of all, we did pray for them. We tried to help them. My mother gave her a tract. When she first moved here, she tried to minister to the woman. And she put a tract out by her door. And the woman ripped it up in a bunch of pieces and threw it back in front of my mother's door. And ever since then, she's been harassing us repeatedly. We don't really say much to her because we try to keep out of trouble. I've been praying all over this place. As soon as I got here, moved in with my mom, the Lord had me praying. He had me first running around here and praying, and they've been attacking us. They walk around here. A lot of them doing sorcery. Lord let me know a lot of them are doing sorcery, putting people in bondage, and that they need to come out of their own bondage. And we pray for these people, but I'm at the point where I'm tired of being a prisoner. I'm a human being just like everybody else. Like I said before, I'm a person. I'm a human being. And I'm tired of being treated like I'm a prisoner. I'm tired of being a personal slave. And I know everybody has their problems, but I feel like I've been a prisoner of God's. And I'm tired. I've been working tirelessly. And imagine how I feel. Being antagonized every single day, having all these things happen to you. When I first came to accept this ministry, whatever God had for me, he put in my spirit, the Holy Spirit showed me that I would be working with young mothers and children, and I would be writing books, and I would be getting married. He told me to prepare for your husband, prepare for your mate. And that's when he started transforming me into a virtuous woman. I became celibate and went on that entire journey. I talked about this numerous times. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, all these witches and sorcerers kept coming to me. Like I said, I gained all this weight, and the Lord let me know that the people who did this to me, they swapped my destiny. They took everything from me. They ended up living my life, and they took my purpose and put their burdens on me, what they were supposed to have dealt with. And that was unjust. I asked God, why did you let them do it? Why did you let them take that from me? I lost my life. I got nothing. I sat here, and I have basically lived a life of bondage. I did what God told me to do, but I am fed up with it now. I'm tired. I am tired of everywhere I go, people are pitted up against me, demons and people who are possessed or mentally ill or whatever problems they have. They don't want to go to God. They're sitting here, they're hurt, they hold on to their problems, they hold on to their burdens and their unforgiveness, so they can't get their healing, and then they project it out on us, and we're tired of being mistreated. I'm tired of being abused. Imagine if you go to work. Do you go to work, even a person on a job, whether it's a nurse or a police officer or a teacher? You don't want to be abused. There are people on the job, no one can assault them. There's even pastors in the church. If someone assaults them, they can call the cops and have them arrested. No one expects them to keep dealing with it. Because if a person can't go to God and get healing, you're supposed to be accountable. You can't just keep using that as an excuse. Yes, we have compassion, but we've dealt with it long enough, especially me. I was a young mother. I didn't know what the heck was going on. I was in my 20s with 2 special needs children by myself, a single mother. I already had to deal with my 2 disabled special needs children who were a handful. They were a lot to deal with. Then on top of that, God puts this on me, this ministry work, which I was supposed to be dealing with other mothers and their children. Then all of a sudden I'm fighting demons and you having men coming to home, astral projecting, using sorcery to rape me and violate me and my children. When this first started happening to me, I didn't know what was going on. And I cried literal tears every night. I was so scared and I cannot bear it. But the Lord, my mother told me when I asked God to remove me of this burden, he keeps saying that other people couldn't bear it. They couldn't bear it. So this is why he forces us to deal with it. I couldn't bear it either. I couldn't bear it, but I had to keep going through it. He made me endure this until I got accustomed to bearing it. And so I gained more strength. It says, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. So I don't want to hear that no one can bear it. We couldn't bear it. My children couldn't bear it. But we've been forced to deal with this. I cannot have a life. That's why I told God, I said, this is not fair, what you've had me go through. I sat here all of my life carrying the burdens of your people, carrying the burdens of other people who don't even belong to him, witches and sorcerers, drug addicts, crackheads, people who are on drugs, people who are mentally ill, people who are dealing with depression, everything he can think of, murderers, rapists. You're throwing this all on me and my 2 kids, one woman. I don't have a man in my life. I don't have no one. I'm sitting here having people threaten me. My safety is being jeopardized. I have people literally coming here, stalking me, harassing me, following me around, spying on me, sending all kinds of stuff. They find all kinds of tactics to spy on me. But I've gone through literal hell. Like I said, they've astral projected in this home and started violating me. That's how I lost my children, because they wanted to cover it up. They said I was crazy. Yeah, everybody calls me crazy, calls me mentally ill, call me fat and ugly. I was not born fat and ugly. I was not born ugly. I was not fat. People have seen it. I've shown many channels, many pictures on this channel of how many times I've lost weight and how great I looked. But he has let these people put their burdens on me. Look at my face. Look at how I look. This is not me. But other people have been allowed to put their burdens upon me. And I said, Lord, that's not right, that I had to suffer. And yes, I'm not happy because I've worked tirelessly since 2007. When I first came back to God, 2007, I started coming back to him. Then I full-blown went into my ministry in 2009. So you can say from 2009 up until now, which is now 2025, I've been working tirelessly in this ministry work. And when I say working tirelessly, the ministry work that I've done, I'm not passing out food like other people. They get good stuff. They get to pass out food. They get to witness to people on the streets. They get to see people coming to Christ and accepting Jesus Christ, their Lord and Savior, becoming saved and born again. They get to baptize people. They get to minister to people. They get to lay hands on them or pray with them. And they get to do the good stuff. They're not being threatened. Me, what I get to do is I have to go to places wherever God tells me, go into neighborhoods and break down the principalities that are over those neighborhoods and pray to fight for the people who are being and who are put in the bondage in those neighborhoods. And as a result, I get retaliated against, me and my family. Demons are basically using people to now fight up against us. We have to deal with our families being threatened. We have to deal with neighbors harassing us on a daily basis. We have to deal with being kicked out of our homes, being kicked out of our schools. I have to deal with my children being picked on in the schools, being teased or being abused and mistreated by the teachers. Problem after problem, having children's services called on us, having my kids put in foster care, having my son arrested. They're causing all kinds of problems, having people asked to project in and out of our home because we're dealing with the occult realm. Most people, they don't have to deal with the spiritual realm. They deal with the physical realm. But we're dealing with spiritual stuff. So when you're dealing with the spiritual, you don't get a break. So even when I'm inside my home, there's no break. They can come in my home. They're astral projecting in and out of this home. I see sparks or bugs will appear out of nowhere. Like I said, roaches will appear. It will just come on the wall out of nowhere. Then it will vanish. They come and spy on me. This is stuff that is occult. Flies used to appear. When I first started doing this, flies would just appear. And I knew this woman was spying on me then. When this first started, I said I would go in my bathroom and I could see them. They come in the bathroom. They watch me. They watch me undress while I'm using the restroom. They watch me while I'm taking a shower. I don't get a break. That is harassment. That is torture. And this has been going on for 15 years, almost 20 years. Then they use spells on me. They attack me remotely. I get severe headaches. Sometimes I used to get it so much when I first started and I didn't know what was going on, but these be excruciating headaches. Sometimes my headaches was hurt so bad, I'd be laying in bed for an entire week and I would just lay there because my head would hurt so bad. They're doing sorcery and they're attacking me. But it doesn't, lately, they find other ways to torment me. But when I first started out, they would always give me headaches. They would give my children headaches. They would make us physically ill. We would get nauseated. Sometimes my kids would vomit. They would go to school and they would get nauseated and start vomiting. My daughter had that a lot. They would give us stomach aches, cause us to have sore throats. We go back and forth to the hospital. There's nothing. Imagine you seeing your children crying, they're suffering. They go to the hospital, there's nothing they can do for them because they can't find anything because they're being spiritually attacked because God has you doing his work. And I've been going through this for 15 years. My kids could not have a childhood. We were being uprooted. We had to go from place to place. We couldn't even stay in one location. We had to go to all these different schools. We were always constantly moving and being uprooted. Wherever God wanted me to go, I had to pick up my things and go there. My kids couldn't have a stable life. They couldn't have friends. They couldn't develop relationships because we were always moving. They couldn't have a stable place. We were always getting up and moving to the next place. I said I wanted my children to have a normal life. I see some people, they do God's work and their kids don't suffer like this. Their kids get to have a normal life. They get to stay in school. They get to thrive. They get to get their education. They get to participate in extracurricular activities and make friends. They get to play sports. They get to graduate. They have a normal life. Not my kids. We were sent all over the place, being attacked by witches and sorcerers, bringing down principalities, fighting for God's people, then carrying burdens of other people. Yeah, everybody can mock me and talk about I'm ugly. I'm not ugly. You see the looks of other people who have taken my looks and put me on altars and did all kinds of things. I have to carry those burdens. I have to carry the shame. I have to walk around feeling unattractive. I have to walk around feeling worthless and being broke, living on welfare and food stamps. Why? Because God tells me to sit at home and do his work so I can move around wherever he tells me to go. The only time he ever gave me a job was when he wanted me to go to those jobs and pray for his people to come out of bondage, to bring down the principalities that were controlling the people, that were messing with the people. And I had to go through literal torture on those jobs. And if I didn't do it, he would get mad at me. He would punish me. And once the job was over, he moved me out there and I had no more money. It's like, it was just for a temporary assignment. I could never work. I could not have a stable life. I talked to a woman today who was on a job for 25 years. And it's like, wow, I felt like I wish I could have stability. I wish I could have been stable and worked and had a normal life where I could work the same job for years. I've never been in a job more than 2 years. I've never been at the same job for more than 2 years. That's sad. That people can be at jobs, they can have stability, they can raise their families in a stable environment, in a stable neighborhood, they can buy homes, they can have spouses, they can grow and be accepted in the community. People love them, not me, because I come here, automatically you're already on the fence. Wherever I go in a neighborhood, they don't want me there. They're ready to attack me automatically because the demons inside of them, or the demons know why I'm there. And so the demons don't want the people to be free, so they automatically lash out against me, or they lash out against my children. They cause problems. They pit up against us. Then it looks like I'm the one who's drawing problems everywhere I go. I'm the troublemaker. No, I'm just reacting to what you're doing. And even when I try to be respectful, you make me look like I'm the crazy person. You make me look like I'm the problem. And it's demons inside these people. And this has been going on everywhere we go. And I beg God to relieve me of this. I was like, Lord, I've done this for 15 years, but it's like, it's never enough. He keeps going more and more. He never ends. It never ends. I feel like a prisoner because it's like all you want me to do is just keep working, keep laboring. It's always another assignment, sometimes multiple ones at once. You're always throwing more and more people on us, more and more people we have to pray for, more and more people we have to fight for, more and more demons that are coming up against us, more and more spiritual attacks, more and more spiritual problems, more and more legal problems. Then they're causing legal problems. The last people they put in their life, they're constantly causing legal problems. They're constantly causing problems with my children. We don't have money to even deal with none of this stuff. They're causing problems. They're tearing up our vehicles. They're causing our vehicles to break down. Even my daughters get vehicles. They're attacking our vehicles. They're tearing our tires. We just replaced the tire. We had to pay money to replace the tire. We don't have anything. That's to say you're causing us financial problems. We have nothing. I said, this is not right. We already don't have any money. I don't have an income. My daughter gets her disability check. We don't have anything. We're trying to take care of all. This is too much. I don't have any. I had to ask my mom for money because I sat here for all these years and had to sacrifice to do God's work, and I don't get no reward for it. And I like no one who wants to deal with this. Where you're sitting here, you're isolated. You're always being persecuted. You're always suffering. My legs hurt all the time because somebody can spiritually lay me in the altar, just cutting it. And God has me bearing that because guess why I had to deal with it? So somebody else who can't take it don't have to deal with it. So I had to carry the burdens to deal with it so another person don't have to deal with it. So many of you don't have to deal with it because you can't handle it. I had to go through it. Even though I couldn't handle it and bear it, I had to cry tears and learn how to just drown it out and deal with the pain. And some people, God, he coddles you. And I'm going to be real. I don't have nothing against you. I get it. But sometimes I feel resentful. Sometimes I feel like, God, I wish for once I could be nurtured and loved the way I need to be loved, not the way you love me. You give me hard love and you have me suffering. I understand we suffer for righteousness' sake, but that's all I have was suffering. Sometimes I wish I could have been the one that can just go to work and have a normal job or normal business and normal life, or be a wife and do something as simple as passing out food and praying for young women, or praying for mothers in the churches and helping them, not sitting here having somebody assault me on a daily basis, having demons fighting up against me, or having witches and sorcerers laying me on their altars, or men astral projecting in the home, violate me spiritually, or mess with my children, or having to move out my home and wonder where the hell I'm going to stay because now I'm homeless and I have to be uprooted every time I turn around because you had me doing your work, and now everybody wants us out the community because nobody wants us here now because the demons are inside them and they're angry and they're on a vengeance. They're on a rampage and they're getting vengeance against us because we're doing the work to break down those strongholds that they had over the communities and the neighborhoods, and we're doing all this work in the background. But nobody ever looks at us as a hero. They don't care. We get met with ingratitude. We get met with abuse and mistreatment. It's not the same as a nurse or a firefighter who's doing work in the community that they're getting paid for, and people appreciate what they're doing. They're not being assaulted on their jobs. No, I get assaulted. This is a job. I'm doing this job for God. But sometimes I get tired because I feel like it never ends. I'm always threatened. I don't want to. Who wants to be threatened? I'm trying to stay out of jail. I don't want a criminal record. I've lived my whole life without a criminal record, but now, ever since I started doing God's work, we're met with all these legal problems, and I've had numerous people jumping in my face. I have numerous people threatening me, trying to fight me because these demons are inside of them. I have men jumping up in my face. I have men violating me, men following me on the roads, trying to run me down, stalking me and harassing me. I've dealt with all of this. Sometimes it's scary, but I trust God. He's there. But you get tired of it. I wouldn't wish this on no one. And sometimes, I get resentful. Sometimes I wish I could have had it easy, like some people who could they go to work and they just do the light, easy ministry work. They get to see the fun part of the ministry. They get to see people get saved. They get to pass out food. They get to minister to the homeless and help them with shelter and pray for the children. But I'm sitting here watching my kid get arrested or watching my kids be taken out of the home and put in foster care so I can pray other children out of foster care and fight against this wicked system. I'm not going to cry on here. I'm just tired. And then I'm labeled as so crazy. It hurt me. That woman hurt me. And I try not to let it get to me. But I get tired. And when she sat here and called me crazy and taunted me because my son was taken out the house, I looked at God. I'm like, this is not right, Lord, because I'm tired. I did nothing. I didn't even cause that. Have somebody mocking me, telling me my son is gone. And that hurts. It hurts. And sometimes I'm so angry at God. Like, why? Why did you do this to me? Why do I have to sit here? I was so hurt for 2 days. And I tried. It broke me. What this woman said to me taught me, because my son is taken from me. You don't treat someone like that. You don't say those things. I know these people got demons in them. They're messed up. That's no excuse. It's no excuse. And I'm tired, Lord. I'm tired of you always having me around these messed up people who do nothing but mistreat me and abuse me and oppress me. I am a human being. I'm not a machine that keeps going and going. I'm not some robot that has no feelings or emotions. And it seems like no matter what I say to him, no matter how much I hurt, no matter how much my children hurt, he doesn't care as long as he gets his work done. And I feel like a prisoner because it never ends. It's never enough. He doesn't know when to stop. And I have people jealous and envious because I was anointed. This is nothing to be jealous of. I wouldn't wish this on no one. Because now I'm bearing the shame that don't even belong to me. I'm bearing shame because what other people have caused. And I have to walk around being mocked every day and ridiculed. People calling me fat and ugly, knowing this was not me. They did this to me. I was a beautiful girl. I was talented. I had ambitions and dreams. I had to be looked at as a fucking failure. Excuse me, but this is how I feel. I have to be looked at as a failure. People tell me I don't work or I'm lazy. I'm on welfare. I'm crazy, or my kids was taken because I'm crazy. That is not true. I was a good mother. I was a good mom. I took care of my kids. I sacrificed for them. And I had to be ridiculed. That hurts. When someone does that to besmirch your character, your reputation, you know you did right by your children and they did this to me. And I was so broken because I am so tired. And I know I have to deal with it. I know. And I feel like God put all this on me because my mom and dad didn't do what they were supposed to do for him. My mom tried. But I don't think it's fair to throw all of this on me and my kids. We have suffered enough. I mean, I wanted to get married. I wanted to have a real life. I wanted to have a relationships with people. I can't have none of that. I have to be alone and just do the work behind the scenes and continue to be abused and be oppressed and live in poverty and bondage and be homeless and go from place to place. I have to be looked at as someone who can never get themselves together and because I'm all over. This is not, I'm doing the ministry work. This is what it means to sacrifice for God. This is what it means. And no one would understand. The only people who understand is if you had to go through it yourself. Those of you who had to go through it, you're the only ones who understand. But sometimes it hurts so much. We can't even take a vacation. I can't do anything. I've never even traveled anywhere. Never even owned a home. I couldn't do normal stuff. I'm sitting here every day fighting and dealing with this garbage so that God's people can be free. But and it's behind the scenes. No one knows. It's like this work. He called me to do this. And sometimes I wish that I could I asked to be relieved of it. I asked that, and like, I shouldn't have to go through this. It hurts to deal with that. And sometimes I get on here, but because I know they're antagonizing me every day. They're antagonizing me, doing everything they can to try and break me all the time. And I know, like I said, I don't get on here, but they're constantly creating problems in my life all the time. It's every day. It doesn't end. We don't get a break. All day, every day, they're causing something. They're doing something every day, causing a problem, causing something every single day. And I'm so tired of dealing with this. I'm so tired. And I look forward to when God comes back and finally gets his church. But we do everything we can. People say I'm not kind, or they posting videos on me mocking me. I am kind. What's not kind is putting your burdens on another human being. What's not kind is taking things, stealing things, oppressing your neighbor, stealing from your brethren, mistreating them. My children, we have been abused. To do God's work, we have been abused and we've suffered. And I'm tired of suffering now. I'm tired. I wish he would just find someone else or do it himself. I'm tired. I know he says pray for more laborers because the laborers are few, but where are the laborers? I told God, you mistreat your laborers. This is why nobody wants to labor for you. This is abuse. Having me go through everything I've gone through, this is abuse. We have suffered. My children did not, they should not have gone through this. And they were disabled as that. You put them through this, really? You couldn't find anybody else to stand up and do this? Like I said, I shouldn't be threatened. I'm one woman with 2 special needs kids and my elderly mother. Why the hell are we dealing with this? We don't have any men around us. But you're sitting here putting us against people who have men around them. I don't know what these people can do. Yes, God's protecting us, but still, I'm tired of being threatened. I'm tired of being harassed every day. I'm tired of the enemy retaliating against me. Like I said, we have a whole rogue organization coming up against us. We're tired. I've had people sitting on jobs putting radiation in me. I sit in my house. They would sending radiation to me. They would do all kinds of tactics on me, cutting in my feet. I'm hobbling around, hitting my knees, doing everything. I'm tired of suffering. I have had my hair burnt out. I've had my hair taken out. Like I said, I have no teeth. I'm ugly as hell now. I was born a pretty girl. I was very pretty. I was an attractive woman. I had to walk around being ugly and feeling worthless. Feeling like I don't have nothing to contribute to society or to life, period. Like my life has been a whole waste. That's how I had to feel. But this wasn't me. I didn't do this to myself. I didn't do this to myself. And that's what hurts the most. That I have to bear this shame and this mockery. I've walked around and been a mockery. And I don't understand why. Why he makes me deal with this. Why? I've dealt with it long enough. I'm dealing with something that wasn't even meant for me to do. You let somebody else put it on me because, they couldn't bear it. I was forced to bear it. I couldn't bear it either. But I had to keep bearing it and bearing it too. I had no choice but to just become numb to it. But sometimes I still have my moments. And when that woman got on here, like I said, I was composed. I know it was the Holy Spirit. I was composed. When she stood in my face threatening me, I was composed. But I get tired of it. I get tired of the constant everything, the pain and abuse and all the suffering, the isolation, not ever have anything, seeing everybody get things in life or even just be able to just enjoy a normal, peaceful life with their children. We can't have that. And I'm not on here looking for sympathy like I always tell you guys. I'm letting you know why, okay? I'm letting you know why I put the videos up here, why I do what I do, it is what it is. Like I said, those who know, you understand. But I'm going to continue to pray. I'm going to continue to do what I can for God's people. And to try to bring people to God. Sometimes the light doesn't shine as bright as it should. But when you've been persecuted all the time, it's constant. That's all God puts around me. There's no balance. As if it was a balance where I could be around people who can pour love into me or loving people who are normal and I'm not being mistreated and abused everywhere I go. But no, it's always somebody it's always the same stuff. But like I said, if you were in my shoes, we don't know how you would act. I try to act as good as I can. I say to myself, if I pray for someone, I pray in secret. If my neighbors need some food, I will give it to them. But we can't get any food right now because we don't have any ourselves. Like I said, they block I still need to get my food stamps. I don't care. They probably don't want me on it anyway. They can take it all. I'm down to nothing anyway. I don't get anything. And they destroyed our garden where we were trying to grow food. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just on here. I'll continue to pray for y'all. And thank you.